All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We'll be diving right into a newspaper review. We'll be looking at stories that made it to the front pages of our national dailies. First up, we have a Daily Trust. Right in front, we have 2027. ANPP bloc insists on a VP slot. Its president's prerogative, says Ali Mudu Sharif. That's on pages 3 and 4 on a Daily Trust. The top left, we have attacks on journalists arising under current administration, says a report. That's on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Patients stranded as doctors in Lagos embark on strike. That's on page 38 if you want to see more on a Daily Trust. How NSCDC officer was stabbed and died in Abuja. That is indeed a tragedy. That is on page 7 of the Daily Trust. At the bottom, we have Tinubu gives Super Falcons highest reward in 27 years. It is an absolute moment of pride for Nigeria and in the sporting world as well, as the Super Falcons brought home the cup. We have Kaduna residents lament as landlords increase rent by 150%. A lot of people are complaining due to the fact that, rent is now high, cost of living is high, and income has not increased. And with that, it makes it very difficult for people to conduct their everyday life. We have military DSS kill 45 terrorists in Niger border towns. That's on page 28 for more information on that story. We have how bandits kill 38 villages after collecting ransom in Zamfara. That is on page 32. That is indeed a devastating time in Zamfara. A lot of people, as we've seen, have come out and protest for, the benefit of their safety. All right, next up, we have a Guardian that right in front, we have poor digital retail offering 85 trillion naira stock market potential. That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. At the top, we have NMA threatened strike. We've seen that runs ruse exit of 30 doctors in Jigawa state. We have SDP expels El-Rufai, bans him for 30 years. That is indeed one controversy that has been seen in the news, where SDP has banned El-Rufai, saying that he is not a confirmed member of SDP, as well as him falsifying documents as well. We have a 4 trillion naira legacy debt threatens power sector stability. Ade Labu wants. That's on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Earthquake fixes August 30th for local government falls as groups kick. That is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper as well. We have cement firms profit up to 229% on FX stability as revenue hits 3.2 trillion naira. That is on the business page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Tinubu honors Falcons with OON flats millions for WAFCON triumph. That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. At the bottom, we have WHO declares hepatitis D cancerous and urges swift global action. You have security forces kill 45 bandits in Niger, suffer casualties in Katsina. And MRA records 141 attacks on journalists in 2 years. Journalists need to be protected when it comes to their reporting, and they are very important members of the society, and they do bring you all that needs to be known in the news. And next up, we have the Punch. On the Punch newspaper, right in front, we have federal government may sell 11 discos to new investors. That is on page 37 of the Punch newspaper, adding that NERC to enforce discos recapitalization, reprivatization, amendment bill advances at the National Assembly. At the top left, we have 2027 APC kicks as opposition backs single-day polls. That is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. The federal government launches crackdown on MDAs after 300% surge in NIMPRESS claims. That is on page 36 38 of the Punch newspaper. That would be good for accountability and transparency as well when it comes to the NDAs. United States birth tourism crackdown sparks Nigerian hospital reforms call. That is on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. All right, we have Lassa fever death toll rises to 152 amid 811 cases. We have states versus discuss new electricity law unleashes a widespread crisis. At the bottom, we have GAC in turmoil as a faction moves to sack Lagos APC chairman. We have cheating Ondo girl nabbed for stabbing boyfriend to death. That is on pages 4 and 5. We have nurses strike to hit hospitals nationwide on Wednesday. That is on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. Make sure you grab yourself a copy and stay informed. All right, next up we have the Tribune. On the Tribune, right in front, we have INEC chairman, agitation for Yakubu's successor swells. We have North Central should get slot, says MBF and others. Southeast and South deserves the position, says Obani, an ex-NBA VP. President's power to appoint chairman amid Nigeria's paradoxes. Former Ohanaze spokesman. And all INEC needs is a man with integrity. That's from Professor Adeyi. Zone of the next chairman not too important, says ex-Kogi speaker. That is on page 15 of the Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, if you want to see more. At the top left, we have First Bank retains top spot as Nigeria's best bank for ESG at 2025 Euromoney Awards. That is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Wherever sake fixes Rivers local government election for August 30th amid concerns over extension of emergency rule. That is on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Millipedes may be source of new drugs to treat human pain. Oh wow. That is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper if you want to understand more on that. We have Ekiti stands still as political heavyweights endorse Tinubu Oye Banji for second term. Present governors are good products, says Aida Tiwa and Fayushi. That's on page 16 of Nigerian Tribune. The police arrest housewife for faking own kidnap. Husband pays 3 million ransom and wanted to use the money to recoup the 3.6 loan spent on her wedding, says the suspect. That is on page 26 on the Nigerian Tribune. All right, next up we have the Daily Global right in front. We have Tinubu overfeeding Nigerians with wrong statistics, says Peter Obi. At the top, we have police and army preach peace in 2 warring communities in Edo State. We have Tinubu will win northern votes despite Buhari's death, says Shehu Sani. The police, army preach peace in 2 warring communities in Edo. We have fuel war bureaus as Dangote presses Tinubu to ban imports. Federal government eyes 2 million jobs through social housing program. And we have Bielsa traditional rulers purported removal sparks controversy, and Tantita security coordinator implicated. Edun task NDIC management to deliver on mandates. That is all we have on the Daily Global. Make sure you grab yourself any of the copies of any of the national dailies and stay informed. All right, and with that, we've come to the end of Daybreak on Trust TV. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so that you do not miss out on interesting and engaging conversations. And as always, I am Hawa Adamikiawa. Thank you for being with us.